if we could get spit on by Jonathan Groff.
Oh,
And I know
friend,
that is a sentence that if you get it, you get it. And if you don't, you don't. And I'm sorry.
you're missing out.
You're missing out.
Let me tell you, that show, Just in Time,
Oh,
is, I cried 3 times.
I can only
It's
imagine.
incredible. Hey, welcome back to the Stories on Tape podcast. I'm your host, Josh Robinson, and our storyteller today, she's the reason I went to my very first gay bar. We'll get into that story in a second. It's a great one. We also were a part of a improv group for children. Yes, that is a thing that exists, and we did it for several years. And it's just one of my closest friends, and I got to be a part of her wedding. Look out for those pictures on Instagram. They're some of my favorites. It is my good friend, Kendalyn McConnell. Hi, Kendalyn.
Hello.
How are you today?
I am so good. I just like, as you were saying all that, just flooded back with all these like funny memories of, I mean, Piper's is like where it all started really, but yes. And honestly, it's kind of funny that you said that about the wedding pictures because those are some of my favorite wedding pictures too.
Perfect.
There's one on my wall. So yeah, they're great.
And that's why we're here today. We're going to chat about all of it. I'm so excited. We're also doing this interview 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Central. But I said today, I just wanted to be truthful to the listeners. It is nighttime because Kendalyn is a mom of 2.
Yes.
And so we had to get the children out of there before we could do this. Okay. So Kendalyn, before we get into all the fun stories that we have with each other, do you have a story that you can tell us, that you can share, that tells us who Kendalyn is if we've never met you before?
Yeah, well, I suppose I can try. So I was kind of talking to a friend the other day about how my life feels like it was like in 2 parts. Like when I think about being at Harding, like with you and doing Pipers and all that, that feels like a different lifetime now because I am just so into mom world right now, especially because we are currently potty training. So, yeah, it's a lot. And so my like total world right now is like in Boyland. We are doing all the football things and we are doing just all kinds. And so the other day, Sawyer looked at me and he's like, Mom, I'm a winner. And I was like, that's like so great. I love that for you. And so now he just loves to go around and say he's a winner about all kind of things. Like I'm potty training. Like if he goes potty, he goes, Mom, I'm a winner. So I don't really know that that's a good story, but like I just feel like I have had so many quotable things happen to me in the last week. And I just like, oh, this is great.
The self-confidence you are already giving this child. How old is he?
He is 2, almost 3. Which
okay,
is,
the self-confidence already incredible. We love Sawyer. We can't wait.
It is through the roof. And he started doing these things like, I guess it's probably my fault because I'll be like, oh, I love that. Like, I just will say that. So he starts saying things like today we were watching the Bears game because John's a big Bears fan. And he goes, Daddy loves Bears. He just like will say this person loves this. Like he told me, he said, Mom love chocolate. I'm like, yes, Mom.
And she does. And she does. That's great. I love that. Yeah, it's very interesting because are you a millennial technically? Do you know?
John and I argue about this because I think he technically is the last, like 95 is the technical last millennial. But I feel like I get more millennial stuff than I do. Is it Gen Z that's the next one?
I think so.
But I feel like I relate to more millennial things than I do Gen Z things. And so I feel like, I don't know, I'm like on that weird borderline, if that makes any sense.
Well, it's so fun to like watch millennial, Gen Z, that area right there, raising children now because I feel like end of millennials, Gen Z, we have some weird slang, like every generation does, but like ours comes from the internet and social media and YouTube and TV. And it's just like this whole other world of things. And now it's being passed down to children who are saying that Dad loves bears.
Yes.
And
well, like, okay, I don't get all the slang. My dad's a middle school teacher. my husband's high school teacher. So like they are in it and they get it. And my son started saying 6'7", which is really, really annoying. But like he's even in it. And I am like, I don't know what you're saying.
I was going to ask if that one had, sorry, there's a cat hair on my microphone that's going to drive me insane.
Oh,
Thank you,
that's the worst.
Grayson. There we go. I was going to ask if that one specifically had come into your life because of your connection to middle and high school. So I'm sorry for that.
Yeah. I mean, it could be worse because
You're right.
our lady that does daycare, she said, I lived through Skippity Toilet and that was awful. So I'll take 6'7" over that, but still,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm over it.
Okay, I gotta ask, do you remember when we met?
Okay, I was looking at that when you had sent me that as a question, and I know that we did several things, but I think it started because I had well, there's two things that might have started. I had TV practicum and you were an anchor. So I ran cameras for you for a semester.
Okay.
Which I don't even know that I introduced myself to you at that point. But we also were in Crazy for You, and that was my freshman year. And that was like the very first thing I did. So I feel like that had to be where we met.
It has to. Okay, because you're one of those friends that like, I don't remember how or when. We just are. And it's just been, but no, that must be it because that was my senior year.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Wild show. Teaching 40 people to tap dance who never once have put on tap shoes was a choice. And boy, oh boy, did we try.
I will say that show was like, and I probably have like rose colored glasses because like I said, I was a freshman and like I literally live in a town this small, or I lived in a small town. And so it was like literally the set of that or the size of that cast was twice the size of my graduating class in high school. So it was like, I'm in a big town, even though Cersei's not. But that whole show was just like, we had our own costumes. It was bright. It was colorful. It was crazy. We're tap dancing. Like, it was a lot, but it was fun. And like, I was meeting all these new people, and like, to my detriment, I made friends with a lot of people that were upperclassmen. So
yeah. I'm literally having this realization right now. I think the only musicals we've ever been in were both Westerns themed. I like literally just put that together because we also did Curtains together.
Yes.
What year? That was summer after. So that would have been summer after your freshman year.
That was that was summer after my sophomore year, I think.
You're right. It was the next. Yes, it was the next.
My first freshman summer, I traveled camps. That's
right.
That was crazy.
That's right.
But yes, we did Curtains. And if I'm being honest, that summer was a blast. And also, have you ever like talked about the fact that you did Curtains rehearsals on Zoom for like what, 75% of it, if not more?
I wondered if you remembered this.
Oh, 100% I do.
I vaguely remember it. So we'll get into this in a second, but the children's improv group that we were both a part of, never at the same time though, correct?
No.
Right. Okay.
I do
sad.
Sorry about that too.
Okay. Oh, great. The director of that was directing the musical that summer, Curtains, and I heard through the grapevine that she was still needing some guys, and so I reached out. I had been gone for a year. I was working in Jackson, Tennessee, but I was like, "Hey, Dottie, if you need someone, I'd love." Like I hadn't done a show since graduating college. So I was like, "Hey, I'd love to come back." And so she took me up on it. So I would Zoom or FaceTime into music rehearsals and just like hear it. I would mute myself because there's a delay, and I would learn the songs. And then I think you would like record the choreography and I would learn it. And then I think there was 2 weekends I would like leave work after work on Friday because I got done at like noon. I would drive the 3 hours to Cersei, be there Friday, Saturday, most of Sunday, drive back, and then did the show.
Yeah.
And it was insane.
That was so crazy. And it was like, I feel like we probably all drove Dottie mad. And like, I don't think honestly she would have done that for a lot of people, but she like knew you were dedicated enough to do it. Like that made a huge difference. And we had a lot of really talented people in that show. Like that was really cool because it was like, we were all like messing around, but we were having lots of fun. And like Duncan and Justice both, I think, were choreographers for that show. And it was like the dancing was fun, the cast was fun, like that whole experience was like I don't know, it was probably like a 6 week, I don't know, we put that together in like a month, maybe six
Right.
weeks,
Something
like
like that. Yeah.
crazy, but it was a hoot and a half when we got it done.
And I just remember there was one costume piece that for some reason didn't come in, and I didn't try it on until opening night when I got to the theater. I was like, well, hope it fits. And it did, thankfully. But yeah, no, there was a whole costume, like chaps that I was supposed to wear for most of the show
Mhm.
that just didn't come in until then. And I was like, well, we'll make it work.
Yeah, it
Um,
was fine.
yeah. So, as you'll probably learn if you continue to listen to this podcast, many of my friends I've made through theater, thankfully. When did you find your love of theater and performing?
Well, I did my first show when I was in fourth grade, and I went into that audition literally bawling my eyes out. And I was like, why would you ever make me do this to my mom? I was like, this is terrible. Why would you do this?
You hate
And
me.
she was like, I promise, I think you're really going to like it, because I would sing and dance around the house. And so I did that, and I was like, chorus girl number 3, or like, just, I was like literally stood in the back. I don't think I had any light. It was great first experience. And there I was like, oh, this is fun. And I did choir and stuff like that. Well, going into my junior year of high school, I did not know that you could major in theater. I thought that was just a fun thing people did on,
Ah, okay.
like, I thought that was crazy. So I found out that you could major in theater from my career counselor. And I was like, girl, then sign me up,
I'm there. I'm there.
and let me know. And ironically, I think everything that I've ever really enjoyed in my life, I got dragged into while just tears were pouring down my face, because then my parents were like, let's go tour colleges. And I was like, sure. And my dad's like, why don't you go check out Harding? Because one of the like people at our church was like a recruiter. And so he was like, come check out Harding. And my dad's like, let's go. Let's check out several places, And I remember being like, I am not going to Arkansas. Like, this is just no way. And then where did I end up? That's where I met Joshua, was right
Good.
there in Arkansas. So that's how that all ended up being that way. And I studied theater while I was there. And yeah, so I really didn't get into it until high school. Like, I did speech, which a lot of people like, there's speech and debate, and then there's this thing that we do in Iowa that's more theatrical. And so I did group and individual, and that all through high school. And yeah.
Okay. And what was the show in fourth grade?
I honestly don't remember. It was some Christmas one. It was like nativity-esque, but you know how like they'll do those shows where it's like the whole show's falling apart and no one can get their stuff together, and then magically it all comes together. It was like one of those shows.
Yes.
They were like trying to put together a nativity play, and it was falling apart. And so I wish I could remember the name, but it was something.
The play that goes wrong before the play that goes wrong.
Exactly.
Got it.
The Christmas version or whatever.
Oh, I love that. So yeah, and then we end up at Harding together, not knowing each other. We apparently meet through Crazy for You, which has to be true. And I, for sophomore, junior, and senior year, was a part of this children's improv group called the Pied Pipers. We wore brightly colored overalls, and had no other costumes. We didn't take microphones or set pieces with us, so everything that all the stories we told and all the sets we did and whatever, we just used our bodies. And it was a lot of fun. I have to say, like, some of my favorite memories from college is because of that group. Tell me I'm nervous to hear this story about your freshman year, because I'm sure you auditioned your freshman year, my senior year. But as we heard, you didn't get in.
I didn't. Well, okay, so I watched your group when I like toured. And so I got to see, I think maybe your very last Piper show, because it was Spring Sing.
Yes.
Oh, I guess it wouldn't be your last Piper show. It would have been
of junior year.
Yes,
yeah.
Of your, so I got to see your last junior year show. And so I auditioned my freshman year, and now having been in the group, I know that like, it's not super common to get in your freshman year, just because it's, as much of it is a talent thing, like to be able to improv and stuff of it, half of the audition is also like, hey, we want to make sure that we can spend 18 hours in a car with you, because we will do that. sometimes.
Correct.
And so when you're a freshman, it's hard to get in because people don't know you. And so they really have to take a chance on you if you're going to get in as a freshman. So that's something that's a big part of it that I know now, having been on the audition side of it. But my freshman year, not my freshman year, my freshman Piper year, I guess, my sophomore year, I was so excited because, you're wearing your overalls for the first time. It's all fun. And we do like several shows on campus other than the tours that we do. And one of them was a Christmas show. Well, a lot of people from your group are coming back. So the Jays, the John, and Josh all were part of your group. And I remember seeing you guys and being like, they are so good. I hope that I'm that funny someday. And we already had people in our group that were that funny. Like Noah and Jacob could go up there and just let it rip and be hilarious.
Correct.
And so I just wanted to be that funny. Well, I had this dream right before the Christmas show that all three of you, John, and Josh, walked in to the Ulrey and you guys saw us rehearsing. And we're like, come on, guys, like come in and see the show. And you just stood there and you went, and you left. You didn't stay for the show. And it was just a dream. But I was terrified. I was like, oh my word. They don't think we're funny. Like, they really are that good. And they like came back to see us and they're like, they know we're not funny. Like, it's so bad. So it was just a dream, but I was terrified that you guys were going to come and be like, they're awful. Like,
I love that you put that much stake in our opinion of you in this children's improv group. That is hysterical. You were great. I loved getting to see you perform. It was so much fun. I think I came back almost every show that year.
I think several times at least.
I know I came back for homecoming.
Yep.
And then did I come back for spring sing? I don't remember. But man, it was a lot of fun. But I also auditioned my freshman year and made it to like callbacks. And at callbacks, you just hang out with like the current members and the other people who got a callback to see if you can like mesh with the group. And I did not make it my freshman year either. And I then later came to find out it was because I was just like not mature enough. Like that's like you said, it's the other thing of just like, can you chill? Like, do you know how to let other people have a moment? Can you like be cool? And I was not any of those things my freshman year of college. So I can sympathize with you.
I think that's just a lot of, and you have that nerve of like, I really, really want this. So you like are trying to make everyone like you. And it turns out when you're trying to make everyone like you,
doesn't work. Doesn't work
very well. So
you just look like a big old doofus.
Yeah.
And you try again the next year. And then the Pipers came to visit me, and not visit me, they came to Jackson and performed for schools there, but I got a visit from the Pipers, and that was a lot of fun.
That was really fun. I think that was that was the time. So we were desperately trying to learn the house that Jack built.
Yeah.
Which is for tuning into listeners.
I can't wait for you to explain this. I'm so excited.
Well, it was horrendous. But so this is a story where you say, this is the house that Jack built. And it's like, there's a cow with a crumpled horn, and there's hay, and there's a mouse. And it has to go in a specific order, but we're not allowed to pick parts. So you just hope that you don't say the same thing at the same time another person does, which is really difficult. Like, improv is hard, but this is like another level. Well, it's also really hard if you don't remember all of the parts that are in it. And you're like, I don't know what comes next. And then there's just like this awkward, we're all staring at each other. Like, what are we supposed to do next? Mm-hmm. And if I remember right, so we're doing this for the first time in front of people, and we're just bombing. Well, you knew it, and I'm pretty sure you were like, this is the cow, and you like came and jumped in to try and help save us, and it helped, but it still went right down. And never in my life I felt awful, because our director came out to us and she goes, you guys need to get that together. We can't be doing that again. It was horrible. But we went through it, but it's bad.
Serious Dottie was always scary because it didn't happen very often.
No.
So when it did, you were like, oh, we messed up. Like,
Yeah.
this is not good. Yeah. So little backstory on the Pied Pipers. We did like Aesop's Fables songs, stories, those kinds of things. And anything that had a part. So we would do like the Goldilocks and the Three Bears. We all knew the like beginning, middle, and end, but there are no set lines and no set parts. So sometimes the kids would pick, sometimes we would just be like, me, and then everyone else was everything else. So you truly never knew what was going to happen from show to show, which made it so fun, but also
Sure.
a little. Were you ever stressed?
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
okay,
Yeah.
there were moments where I was like, oh no, like this, we picked the wrong person today, and it was, but we're gonna go with it now, and it just, oh, it was truly. When I say it was never a dull moment, I mean truly never a dull moment.
Well, and just the hard part is that you also are sitting there like, I hope I have a good idea, because otherwise you bomb. Because we would do, I think, just about every show we did this Tyler Toad sketch where
Yeah.
it's Tyler's having a birthday party and he wants to invite all of his friends. And they're supposed to be different animals like every single time. And you just hope that either you can come up with something funny because you want the kids to laugh, or just something to get through, or just anything. You'd be surprised how hard it is to come up with elephant, like on the fly. And so you're sitting there, and if you aren't Tyler, then you have 15 seconds to be like, I guess I'm a giraffe now, and just, go with it. And you and someone else sometimes have to lock eyes and be like, I'm a giraffe. Are you a giraffe? And then you just go with it, and you hope it's fine. And that's the fun of it, but it's also like terrifying.
Yeah, and one of you becomes the back end of the giraffe without speaking, and so you're just like hooked to the hips of the person in front of you, like swaying back and forth, hoping that your back doesn't give out. Yeah, And then if someone wanted to be really mean to you, they'd pick up a kid and put the kid on your back, so then you have a kid riding the giraffe. It never. There was one time, one of the John Frizzell, we there was a story about a toy store, and the kid wanted the different toys, and there was a corduroy bear. I don't remember it all, but I was a race car, and we were in a church. It was a pretty big auditorium, so John was like, "Look how fast this car can go," and I'm like, "Okay," because in improv you don't say no.
You don't say no.
Yes, and so I start running around this auditorium, and I probably did like one or two laps, and then I was like, battery low, like I'm breathing heavy, and John was like, oh look, I've got new batteries, clink, and I was like, I will run you over, sir. I will run you over as this toy car. So it was always a blast. Another great thing about being in that group is you get to go to Scotland.
Yes.
And that, what is your experience in Scotland? Because man, I'm so ready to go back.
Oh, I think you and I probably comment every single time someone goes to Scotland, because our dear friend Kayla just went there on a vacation, and I literally looked at the pictures and like almost wanted to cry. I was like, I miss this place. And I do think that part of that has to do with the people, like the families that we stayed with. Phenomenal people. Like I really just have a heart for those families that we were able to spend time with while we were there. But I mean, it's a gorgeous country, and I did try new foods, even though you and I are both, if there's not chicken tenders on the menu, I'm not going, people. And so I think just that whole experience was amazing, and just like seeing different cultures and meeting Scottish children and like learning what was new for them, or like we would learn some of their songs or stories over there so that we can adapt. And it was just cool. Like it was just a different experience. And I feel like honestly, the kids in Scotland they were like super grateful, and they were always like saying please and thank you. Not that kids in the US weren't, but they were just sweet. Like I just really liked being over there.
Absolutely. There was my favorite thing is always like, we just couldn't tell the kids we liked their pants, because pants means underwear. So you had to say,
I think
oh no.
it wasn't pantaloons. That's
That's what I wanted to say.
Right.
That's the word that came into my head.
Yes.
That, and then dungarees were our overalls.
Oh,
And so
yes.
we would just like try to put these like, just change our vocabulary a little bit, just so we like didn't embarrass, 200 school children as they're watching these college kids from America come over and try to entertain them for an hour.
And intentionally make fools of themselves.
Correct.
Yes.
Just make big ol' idiots. Yeah, I some of my closest and dearest friends are thanks to that group, and theater there too. So I'm very glad that we have that shared experience. Another shared experience we have, your wedding.
Yes.
Did you like that segue? That was a good segue.
It was so sad.
Tell me the story of how you and John met, because it's an interesting one, I think.
Yes, it is. Well, okay. So John and I dated my freshman and sophomore into like going into my junior year summer. We did for a while, like half of high school. And then things ended poorly and tragically, as
they
high
always
school
do.
loves do. Yes. And I like really did not like John after that. Like I really struggled with him. I didn't talk to him. I didn't look at him. If he was in a room, I went to another room. Our mutual friend had a birthday party, and like I almost didn't go because I knew he was going to be there. Mind you, he was still like best friends with my brother. Like they never stopped being friends or anything like that. And he never stopped being friends with our mutual friend group that we had already had. I was like, okay, which was super annoying to me. And this boy was relentless every single year. So that was like a 6-year span between us getting back together and us breaking up. I didn't say a word to him, didn't save his number on my phone. Yeah.
Who broke up with who in high school?
Ooh, okay. I think you technically have to say it was me, because I was like, I can't be with you, and because of like you really hurt me. And so I was like, I can't be with you. And so I feel like technically it was like it wasn't a mutual parting because John and I, but it was like so I guess it was my fault. So and so yeah, I didn't talk to him for 6 years. And he loves to bring up the fact that I went to college, I dated another person, like had this whole like different life, all of this, because he was going to go to Harding too, and then decided not to go to Harding. And so he went to school at OC. Like we literally lived separate lives for 6 years. Well, then I was down in Florida at Disney College Program. And I don't know why I did this. I mean, he texted me every year on my birthday, said happy birthday. He texted me to go get ice cream several times when I was home on breaks. Like I never responded to him. And he used to work in a classroom, and all these kids were playing Kahoot, which is like a game where they put answers on the board for everyone to see. And so they all made their name John Smells, John Stinks 2. That was like every kid in the class had names like that. And so I just like replied to his Snapchat story and was like, you should probably buy some deodorant. Like, take a hint. Like, I was like, eh. And so I thought I was just being like spiteful and funny. And then we ended up just like messaging back and forth because, as he says, he could not believe that I even messaged him. And it's kind of sweet. And I would like to think I'm not putting John's words in his mouth, but he's like, I didn't date anyone. I didn't do anything like that other than you, mainly because like I still in the back of my mind liked you, but I knew you didn't like me. So then when I was at Disney, you get off at like 1 a.m. It's kind of crazy the hours that you work, but and then I would have to walk like a half a mile to my car every night. And so at 1 a.m, I was like nervous. So I would call people that I knew were awake. Well, John and I had been like texting back and forth. And so I was like, hey, are you awake? Can I talk to you? Well, I talked to him for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And I hadn't talked to like anyone in 2.5 hours. I mean, other than you and me, we just go on and on and on. But I hadn't talked to anyone like that for a really long time. And then it was kind of history after that. So that was our getting back together.
Wow. Incredible. And so then your wedding happens in what year? 2021?
21. Yep. May of 21.
Okay. Yeah. And don't know if you know this specifically, but I believe that was the first like function, quote unquote, that Travis and I came to as a couple together.
Yes, I felt very honored. And I also like, because you had like told me about Travis. You're like, oh yeah, Travis, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, is it okay if he comes? I'm like, please bring him. And I remember, I think it was the day before because he wasn't there right away, or maybe it was day of. I don't know. Man, I think he was there the night before, right?
He was, yes.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I remember him coming to the hotel and me being like, sit down, I have a million questions to ask you. And I probably scared the junk out of him. But that was just, it was fun to like be there with both of you. And I feel like both of you were having a good time. So that was really fun.
Yes, because he was there the day, he was there for the rehearsal because Noah was supposed to run the music or whatever, and Travis was like, you're gonna have someone run this day of that's not done it before. Travis is a stage manager for people that, a professional stage manager. Yeah. He was like, no, just let me do it. And so he did. He ran.
He did. He ran music for my entire wedding and
ceremony and yes, dinner after. Yes. And then I was the like quote unquote coordinator. I don't know what. I was helping.
Yes.
And Travis was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to call each other. And so we each had an AirPod in, and one of us was cueing the other to send the people down the aisle.
Yes.
And then to cue when to start playing the song. It's hysterical to think back on.
Oh, 100%. But honestly, so we've been to several weddings since then, and my dad looks at me every time and says, we need a Josh. Because quite literally, I mean, I had seen, you had unintentionally done this for our friend Kayla's wedding.
Correct.
Like kind of organized or whatever. And I was like, whenever I get married, I need Josh to be there and to do that. And it was so perfect, which I think it was, I don't know if it was you, maybe it was Travis that said this. I'm never doing a wedding without theater people again. I don't want to be a part without.
Correct.
Because I mean, it was like, I knew that you knew how to be like, everyone get in line, let's go, like boom, boom, boom. And then like you and Travis coordinating was like, I felt like just another level. And I think that's why I don't look back at my wedding day and be like, oh, I kind of regret this. Oh, this thing happened. Oh, that I just wasn't stressed about it. I just wasn't, because I had pros.
Well, good. That's why we were it's my sister's getting married literally as of recording this coming Saturday.
Oh, wow.
So my mom has already said like, you might be thrown in to the and I'm like, hey, guess what? A professional stage manager will also be there. So like, great.
They should not be concerned.
Correct.
True.
And they've also have an actual wedding coordinator. So like, I'm assuming between the three of us, everything will be fine. My sister actually just sent us the like run of show for the day, and I was like, oh, we have broken this down. Got it. Perfect. Ooh, can't wait.
Well, I think that that's a big part of it too, is that like, if your bride is prepared, it makes the coordinator, it makes their job easier. And it's also just like, we like to have a run of show. We like an outline.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I'm here for it.
My two favorite memories from the actual ceremony. One, you're taking pictures outside and all of a sudden several of us realize it is starting to rain, and you are far enough away and with the like bridesmaids and groomsmen, I believe, that like you're not getting back into this building before the rain starts. And so thankfully the venue had several umbrellas by the door, and I just come sprinting towards you with several, and there's a very cute picture of us under the umbrella, I believe, or yes, me giving you something. So that, and then there's another picture of me running down, I'm making this about me, running down the middle of the like lines of people to celebrate you guys leaving, and I'm announcing like, here they come. And it's just a picture of me yelling, and it is so funny to me.
Well, I don't know if you remember this part, but okay, so there's like this, there's an outdoor ceremony area. There's like a little wedding barn, a big wedding barn, and then an outdoor ceremony area.
Yes.
So I'm out there taking pictures, like you said, with the bridesmaids, and it starts to drizzle, and every single one of my bridesmaids books it up the hill. And I'm just standing there, and I am like, huh? And I literally went, Josh, help me. And that's when you come running down the hill. I was like, oh my word. I don't think that they intentionally left me. There's probably like something that they probably knew, or maybe they were on their way to go get umbrellas or tell you or something.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Like,
yeah. They were going to help.
Oh,
sure.
Totally, for sure. Yeah, all 8 of them. Yeah, for sure. So that was fun. But then I don't know if you remember this part either. So I had this huge veil, which ended up not staying on my head. But you were like kind of waiting there, and I like hooked arms with my dad, and then you had taken my veil and went whoosh. And it was like in the moment that you had done my veil, bam, pouring down rain. I just remember you were like, we got to get going. And it was like just pouring rain. I was like, okay.
All right.
Great.
Hey, they say rain on your wedding day is good luck. So
I mean,
you're drenched in it.
And I am set because
and
it
then
was drizzling.
I just had this memory. I also was like a game show host at your wedding.
100%. Yes, you were. Yes. And that was a last minute decision as well.
Yes, it was. It was like, were you guys planning to play the game regardless, or did it just like happen?
Well, okay. You know how like some people are like, oh, this would be so fun if you did this. And you're like, yeah, that would be so fun if we did that. But then like sometimes you just do things because you're like, people would like that or whatever. Well, I don't remember who it was specifically that was like, you guys need to play the shoe game. That would be so fun. Where it's like you have one person's, like a heel and a shoe or however you do it. And then it's like, who's more likely to steal the covers or whatever. And then you put the shoe up of the person that is more likely to. And so I was like, I feel like I might have told you like the day before or the morning of like, hey, if we played this game, could you make up a couple questions or something like that? But I don't know why we did that. But yes, you did turn into a game show host. And you also were like announcer. You announced everybody coming in. And you were like, hey, everybody go get some food. Or, hey, because I knew that there was a chance it was going to rain. And so I was like, indoor ceremony and indoor reception, same place. We need to turn this ceremony into a reception hall quickly. And so I know that you kind of did that too. So hire Josh for all wedding detail necessities.
Listen,
right?
being the son of a father who was the deacon of the fellowship hall for years at a church, I can roll around table. I can put 8 chairs around a table. I can put a tablecloth on. If there's nothing else I can do in this world, it is those 3 things and space them out so people have room to walk around. I know I can do that, especially if you've got tiles on the floor. I can space them out. It'll look like I've been doing it since I was 7. Like, I got it. I got it. And then, so your wedding ended earlier than I think Travis and I were expecting.
All of us.
Which was love. Like, listen, never mad if a wedding doesn't go until midnight. Like,
yep.
I'm happy to have an evening. And so we were like, well, what do we do? And so
Iowa.
it was in Iowa City, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So college town. And we find a gay bar. And then
I should have told you about this place ahead of time, but I did not. So that's my
fault. So not only is this the first outing Travis and I are like at an event together as a couple, it is now my first time at a gay bar.
Mm-hmm. And
then we bring Kayla, good friend, and Kayla, please come do the podcast because boy, do we have stories as well.
Yes, Kayla.
Thank you. Also, Melanie and Noah come and join us, and we do karaoke.
I didn't know you did karaoke.
Oh, you didn't know this?
I knew you
friend.
And I knew you saw the drag show, but I didn't know you did karaoke. I love that for you. She did, Dolly.
And you hear Kayla screaming because she's the one recording.
Yes.
My favorite story from that night is as I get up, I introduce myself and I'm like, hey y'all, I'm bringing a little Tennessee to Iowa tonight. Cue 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton. And then I start to sing Stumbled out of bed and I tumbled to the kitchen. And Travis, who has come up with me as like support, he gets in my ear and he goes, sing it up the octave. So then yawn and stretch and try to come to life. Like, go. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I was searching just to like find some pictures of us to just like jog my memory.
Yeah.
And found that video.
I love
so
that.
Thank you for your contribution to that.
Oh, happy to help.
Do you remember hearing about that? Like, do you remember us telling you about it or anything? Or was it like later that we were like, oh yeah, after your wedding, we did this?
I'm trying to remember when it was, because you probably remember this. We used to FaceTime like every day of COVID. Like when we were locked down, we were on FaceTime all the time, just talking about all kinds of stuff. And I feel like it was after my honeymoon or something like that. I was like, so what did everyone do? Because like you said, my wedding ended earlier than I thought. We were literally out taking golden hour pictures and my dad's like, get inside, we got to do the run through. And I was like, what? Okay, I guess we're leaving. And so it was like after my honeymoon or something. I was like, what did everyone do? And you're like, we went to a gay bar. I was like, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. It was a blast. It was so much fun. And then so that was also my first time ever to Iowa.
Yes.
And then another time I was leaving the Hamilton tour that I was on, and I drove from Edmonton, Canada to your home in Iowa as like a pit stop, and we saw Mamma Mia.
Oh yeah. That was so great.
It was a blast because that was like a very unexpected, like, oh, I'm okay, we're doing this. And I was like, well, what's halfway? And I was like, oh, Iowa. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Yeah, I'll go see my friend Kendalyn. Absolutely. And then because then this picture pops up of us sitting. I don't know why there's a mattress but we're sitting.
Oh, yes.
On the mattress on the ground.
Parents, okay, so they just prepare for lots of people to be here because we just have huge family and there's so many of us. So my mom still has like our twin beds that she saves under, like she has this big closet underneath her stairs that she saves like these twin beds and stuff like that. So when company or the little kids or other people come out, she can literally throw out mattresses everywhere and be like, you can sleep here and you can sleep here. She never turns down a guest. I'll say that much.
And we're very thankful. We're very thankful.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about the big family because we both come from large families. How many siblings do you have?
I am one of 3.
Okay. And then 2 of you now have multiple children.
Yes. So I have 2 myself, and then my brother has 3, and he would like to have 4. What's also really crazy, so I feel like, I mean, and lots of people say this, but I have lots of family that's not blood related that I just, like, I have lots of friends that I consider family. And so that's probably another reason why it feels so huge. And so there's a group of us, this sounds really weird, but we're kind of all friends who married friends. So like my brother and our friend Christian and their friend Skylar and then John, they're like 4 friends that all grew up. So John's my husband. They all grew up together, and I know Christian's wife because we went to high school together and we kind of got them together. So then they got married. And then my best friend from church camp, Maddie, is now my sister-in-law. And then Skylar married Kaylee, who we also met at camp. So it's like we all kind of got married and now we're kind of like family. Well, in the last 3 years, there's been 8 children that we have had together.
Whoa.
Yeah. So which is super awesome because like all of our kids are kind of growing up together, and that's been like a cool experience. But it's like I have my family of siblings and then my nieces and nephews, and then these kids that they're not my nieces and nephews but kind of feel like it because we all live really close and hang out together. But then I got a whole gaggle of cousins. So it's just like, it's just a whole big happy family.
Absolutely. Did you enjoy being the middle child growing up? Are you the middle child?
It's funny that you say that because I have had this conversation a lot about how I think I present as a middle child in some situations. I
Uh-huh.
am the oldest, but my brother's the middle child, and he's the only boy, and
Oh.
he very much presents as an oldest child.
And that's
So,
what I thought. I thought your
yeah.
brother was the oldest.
Mhm.
Okay.
And well,
Mhm.
and we're only 18 months apart. We did everything together because when we were able to be in high school and do sports and stuff like that, when your high school's literally this big. I mean, there were 25 kids in my graduating class. And so when people are like, "I'm from a small town," I'm like, "No, you weren't, honey." But that's fine. You tell yourself whatever you want. Um, yeah, so my brother and I mean, we hung out with the same 15 people, so we did everything together. We grew up doing all kinds of stuff together, so I feel like it just that's just how it was, you know?
Mhm. Yes. Um, did you like growing up in a small town? Was that fun for you?
In some ways, yes.
Uh-huh.
So I got out. Oh, I don't want to say I got out of the small town. So Devin and I are like really good friends, and we've basically been friends since high school. So that's been like kind of fun to have that. But Lone Tree's like literally the middle of a cornfield, and we had a gas station. We had a tiny little like grocery store that you could get like basic things at. If you like ran out of a can of tomato sauce or whatever, you could get it there. But we had to travel to Iowa City for groceries. Like when I had a high school job, I worked at the grocery store that was in Iowa City. That's just kind of how it was. So that's where I did a lot of community theater. That's where I've met some other friends through community theater. That's how I met vocal coaches. Anything that I did that like got me to Harding or got me into theater and stuff like that. It wasn't. I definitely had some theater in Lone Tree, but I did a lot of stuff outside of Lone Tree just because like I kind of had to. So that was stinky, but then it also taught me like how to go get stuff or how to audition for stuff in other areas. So that was nice. But I do have one teacher who she like got me into speech, got me through speech through high school and all that stuff. And ironically, we're still like friends and communicate because she's a speech coach and I started judging speech, and so we see each other. So that's just kind of like a fun transition, but yeah, it was, I mean, it was okay, but I went and did stuff in other towns all the time. So I don't know that
Mhm.
I can say like I don't know. I feel like I was part of Lone Tree, but I also feel like Iowa City is home and all these other places, you know?
Sure. No, I love that though. I love there are a few teachers that I've had like high school and college specifically that I've stayed in touch with that have like become more mentor than teacher.
Yes.
And so it's a really cool transition to happen. And like I'm sure you don't I at least mine, I don't speak to them, consistently, but when I do, they're always there. They've got the advice, they're ready to help, which is always a good thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yes, that's exactly how I would describe her. It was kind of funny because my best friend's little sister is now a teacher with her at the school I grew up with.
Oh,
So,
okay.
we went to a baby shower together, and so then she was like, "Can I hold your baby?" Because I brought my baby. So it's like my teacher is holding my baby, and it just was like it was just kind of a crazy like full circle moment.
You mentioned it earlier, the Disney College program.
Oh yes.
What was your experience with this? Because I feel when I hear people talk about it, there's like the good and the bad.
Mhm.
Getting off at 1 a.m. not the best, but there are moments where I'm like, I kind of think I wish I had done it.
Well, I will say that I had never been to Disney. Well, okay, I went to Disney for one single day with Pied Pipers, and I'd only went to Magic Kingdom. So when I got hired for Disney, I really had never been there, so that was
Uh-huh.
kind of insane. But basically, because I've had several people be like, "What the heck is that?" Because like you would think that this is like a highly advertised thing, but it's like you either really know about it or you've never heard of it. Like it's just
Hmm.
kind of not. But basically you like go spend a semester's worth of time at college at Disney, and you can take classes there that teach you different things that you could use for college credit if you want. But I was like, no, I'm here for Disney. Um, which that's the other thing. I loved college, but I am not a great student. Not because I don't care, but because I was like, I want to be in shows. I don't want to sit in the classroom all day, which sounds terrible. But if when I look back at it now, I can be honest about that.
Yeah.
So this was my gap year, like some people do. This was my gap semester, and it took a lot of convincing to let my mom from my mom to let me go. But she's also like, you're 20, like you can Like, you're allowed to make your own decisions. I'm just telling you
Uh-huh.
what my thoughts are, you know? And so, anyways, I get down there. You work for a semester. I got really lucky, I think, because I got put in, worked at Disney Springs in merchandising. So, because I was
Mm.
at the Springs, I didn't get bored of the parks because you get free admission and you get to go do all that. Um, so that was cool. Whereas my other roommates, they did, which was also kind of scary because you get put with potluck roommates. I knew the name and had like texted with one of my roommates going into this, but that was it. And I was rooming with 5 other girls, which who knows? Who knows what you're going to get, you know? So you can be in a 2x2, a 2x4, or 2 by, so you can either can have 2 roommates, 4 roommates, or 5 roommates. Like, it's 2, 4, 6.
Whoa.
And your rent gets cheaper the more people in your thing.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, I guess I'll do this. Like, I'll save myself
Bring
some
it on,
money.
everybody.
Yeah, bring it on. Because they say that it's free rent, but it really just comes out of your paycheck. Like, and you just don't see it. So
Mhm.
like, it's girl math. Rent is really what it is. And so I got super lucky because I loved all of my roommates. Like, they were all super cool people, and we're from like all over the world. Like, one of my roommates ended up being in my wedding, and I had only known her for the 6 months I was there. Like, it is, you just like are bonding with these people because you're doing the same shared experience. And yeah, so like I thought it was a blast. I really liked selling merchandising. I got put at like multiple stations. I was at a Star Wars store, a Avengers store, and the Candy Cauldron where they like make apples and do all of this stuff.
Yeah.
That was fun. Oh, and I was glow cart trained, which I worked glow cart on the busiest night of the year, New Year's Eve, which everyone likes to think it's Christmas or Thanksgiving. It's New Year's
Bless
Eve.
you.
And that's maybe one of the crazier things I've ever done in my life. Yeah.
And when you say glow cart, you're like pushing the cart with like the balloons and the wands and the
Mm,
lightsabers or whatever. Okay.
you got it. You got it. Yeah. Those little Ariel wands or Ariel singing and
Yeah.
it says under the sea and it's like blowing bubbles everywhere. That was me.
That
You
was
can
you.
get those from
That's your fault. Got
and
it.
and if it stopped working a block away from me and you had to come back, I was the one screwing a new bubble cap on there for you or putting new batteries in or blah blah blah. You name
Disney
it.
magic.
Disney
Disney
magic.
magic.
Yeah. No, for sure. I had the magic. I was like, here you go. Love to do that for you. So yeah, it was fun. I don't know if that was a
Okay.
description, but
No, that's I just hearing because like we went to school with some people who ended up being like face characters
oh, 100%.
for a minute, which is like really cool. And like seeing their pictures, I was like, you were friends with Merida? What
Yes.
do you mean? What?
Well,
Um,
I guess I could tell you about that too. So
please.
I was in Pied Pipers with Jacob, and his name's Jacob, but we ended up being in the we got cast at Disney at the same time. And we were like, you know what would be fun? Let's go to a character audition because you get put in one role. So like I got put in merchandising. I think Jacob got put in like food service or something.
Mm.
But you are allowed to audition, and if you make it into the audition, then you can become a character performer. Like, you can switch roles. And you can do that while you're down there too. Like, I could have stayed in merchandising and then applied for a different role if I wanted to try something else or whatever. So like, it is what it is. And my sister-in-law is down there now and she's doing that kind of stuff. But anyway, so Jacob and I went and stayed at my grandma's house in Texas and woke up the next day and went to an audition, which was so silly because we drove 5 hours to go to this audition. And Disney auditions are like the most simple but also the most hardcore auditions because they know what they're looking for going into it, and they won't tell you that. But so there were over 400 people that auditioned that day, and so we all are in this room and they're calling you in by big lots. And so it's like they're calling you in and they're like, hey, this 50 numbers, come in and dance. And in the first round they cut half of the people.
Oh my
Literally half of
gosh.
them. And I say it's the easiest audition because they literally teach you, and it's like grapevine to the left, grapevine to the left, spin around. Like, it was not difficult
Uh-huh.
choreography. from what I experienced. So I was there for like an hour, maybe, and half of that was waiting. So I got cut in like round 2, right? Jacob made it to 12 rounds. But by the time Jacob was in his 12th round, it was him and like 3 other guys for like 6 of those rounds. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. Cuz I made it past the big like cattle call audition or whatever, and then I got to the next round, and they tell you to pick a character and walk down the room as if you are this character. And I totally regret what I did, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna be Winnie the Pooh. And so I like had this big honey and I'm like eating honey, and I'm like rubbing my belly, walking down. And in hindsight, I'm like, that probably was not very clear. So I
Did
know that that's on me. Yeah, it wasn't great. But then they were like, you know what, girl? Try again next time.
I
So,
love that you made that choice. Continue.
oh,
That's
yeah. No, I mean,
incredible.
that's that. So that was that. So then I just like kind of literally, because Jacob and I went together. So I couldn't just leave. So
Right.
I like sat there and hung out until Jacob was done. And then he's like, I don't know if I got it. Then he had to wait like another 2 weeks or something like that, I think, to find out if he got it. And he did. And now I don't know if he's still doing that now, but he was doing that for a good long while.
Yeah. He was friends with Goofy?
Friends with Goofy, friends with Woody,
Woody.
he was friends
Okay.
with Tigger.
Wow.
So yeah, and he's also been friends with I cannot remember his name, but he's in Fantasy Fair. The big alligator from Princess and the Frog. His name's not
Oh,
Al. It's something.
Louis?
Louis.
Is
Oh,
that his name? Yeah.
yes, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got lots of friends at Disney for sure.
Good for him. That's
Yeah.
so fun. Yeah, that's it. That is one thing I love about being in like the performing, like being connected to the performance industry in this way, because you meet people like we, a former Pied Piper was friends with Peter Pan for like years.
Yeah. Yep.
And it
And
was,
now
and
he's the Mad Hatter. Or he
sure.
was, I guess, last time I knew.
Yes. So it's never, and I'm sure they have crazy stories.
Oh, I can only imagine. But I mean, some of them are really sweet. Like Jacob had told me that being friends with Tigger can be really, really fun because the littlest guys know who Tigger is.
Hmm.
And so he was telling me about how one time he watched a friend meet Tigger, and he was just like, Tigger, and just flopped onto Tigger's arms. It was the sweetest thing. And I was like, that's that's what it's all about, you know? Which I
Hmm.
mean, I did take my 2-year-old to Disney for like 2 days, and that was the most insane thing I ever did. But that is really special when they get to meet those characters and see them, and like that's what you do it for, you know?
Yes. Yes. No, the first time I went to Disney, I think, yeah, I was 16, and like I saw Goofy and I was like, oh, I'm 4 again. Like I'm freaking out. There he
Yeah.
is. He's right there. It's fine. It's
Yes.
fine.
And I wish, like, I mean, you get it. Like, I wish I could say that I go to Disney and I'm like, okay, whatever, it's a theme park. No, it's seriously
It,
magical. Like,
yes.
oh, it's amazing. Like, I went and now I'm like, I wish I had $1,000,000 because I would just go back all the time.
Mhm.
Just,
I think I'm planning a trip for March to go to Disneyland
oh,
in California. So fingers crossed that works out.
I love it.
But yeah, no. Travis is a big Disney person, and I have become a bigger Disney person since being with him. And it is like, I love it. It's so fun. Everyone, like, all the workers are happy. They're
Yes.
like, it's so kind. Most people that are there are happy. Granted, if you're there with your 2-year-old, maybe you're not necessarily the happiest person at that moment.
Fair enough.
But it's such a special place.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
And like along with that Disney thing, like yes, it is really hard to work at Disney and you don't have like the best days. Like there are days when you spend half of your day listening to those 2-year-olds crying because they want whatever.
right.
But it is cool. Like at the end of the
Hmm.
day, like it's your job to make a magical day for other people. Like that fills your bucket too, you know? So that was cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, and then what are you, we can cut this. I just don't know the answer. What are you doing for work now?
Oh, that's a lovely question because it's kind of hard to describe. But
Okay,
um,
great.
so basically, my title is nutrition specialist. And I work at a school district where there's like four different buildings. There's high school, middle school, intermediate, and elementary. And my job basically, what I got hired on to do was to go teach educational lessons to different kids classes and be like, hey, here's broccoli, let's talk about broccoli, why it's good for you. Let's taste test it together because that's something on the menu that we can't get kids to eat. And I've done some cool other things too, like we got to bring in dragon fruit one time. Like I've done some
Yeah.
things that are like just basic foods that we have on the menu. And there's one time we wanted to try a new recipe and I brought that around to all the kids and we're like, do you like this? Do you want to put this on the menu? Do you want to? So like originally that was my thing. And I also would like organize games at the high school because part of our issue is getting high schoolers to eat because we have open campus so they can go eat at home or drive somewhere else or whatever. Three of the four grades at high school can do that. And so it's like my boss is like, how are you going to get kids to eat? So I started playing games like Magical Golden Tray, where if you find a like golden tray ticket underneath your tray, I would just stick them in randomly. Then you get a gift card to the local coffee shop in town because the local coffee shop was willing to donate some cards and stuff like that. So I do fun stuff like that. But then I also, like if someone is out, like if one of our lunch ladies is typically what they're called, lunch heroes now to be more inclusive.
Absolutely.
So if one of my lunch heroes is out, then I go sub for them. Well, it's tough times for lunch heroes. So if you are looking for a really fun part-time job, go check out if there are any lunch heroes in your town that need help because I am currently filling in for a manager position because we had our manager tell us they didn't want to come back at the beginning of the summer. And so until we get that job filled, I am kitchen manager and I'm doing my assigned job.
Yeah.
I'm still organizing field trips and
Yeah.
doing stuff like that, but um so I'm kind of a catch-all. Like yes, I was hired to do these things, but like I also can do these things and also have these things. I don't know. And if my boss is like, "Can we try doing this or can we do that?" It's my job to be like, "Yeah, let's make it happen." So I don't
Cool.
really know how to describe that, but that's what I
No,
do.
but that's the part about like bringing the food to the classrooms. I love that idea. I think if more people had had that, I think if just that option of like, oh, I get to see what this is before having it just like scooped onto my lunch tray, or like
Mhm.
being in the cafeteria being like, what is, I've never seen that before, I'm not going to try it. Having it just brought to your classroom and like getting to have a bite, I think is a really cool, it's a really great idea.
And I wonder if like I mean, you and I can relate to this that I mean, we're probably way more adventurous now than we ever would. But if chicken tenders are on the menu, I'm getting the chicken tenders because I get nervous that I won't like something, that I won't, whatever. And so just taking the scary part out of it because people don't realize that eating food is scary. Like, I'm a texture person. If it has a weird texture, I don't like it. And they tell you this when you start feeding your kids solid foods for the first time. When you are trying to get your kid to eat blueberries, well, one blueberry is sour and the next blueberry is not sour and
Hmm.
all these things. So eating food can be scary and that's okay because like that's the point of trying things over and over and over again. But trying to make things not scary, and I think also the lunch in general, like lunch ladies, lunch heroes, whoever, can make lunch be intimidating. And so if we can get kids to not be scared to eat lunch at school or to eat lunch in general, like I go around and also talk about because there's like national standards of like, hey, you have to have a fruit or a vegetable on your tray. You have to have all these. So like my very first talk when I go into classrooms is like, when we come to the lunchroom, this is what you need to have on your tray. You don't have to eat all of it, but you do need to make sure you have at least a fruit or vegetable on your tray. And what is a fruit or a vegetable? And also just like we talk a little bit about, okay, yes, you could just put the roll and the milk and the strawberries on your tray. You could, but is that enough to fill your tummy up? Like, are you going to be happy and be able to run around at recess if you're not fueling your body with what you need, because I think it's important at a very young age to like not make food a scary thing, not make food a shameful thing, but also make it like make you realize that that is how you give your body power. That's how you give your body energy. And it's a good thing. And it's doesn't need to be scary and whatever, there doesn't need to be shame around it in any way. So that's my 2 cents
Oh,
on it.
I love that, Kendall. No, that's so important and so needed. A little self plug. Go listen to my episode with Megan Splon. She is a food stylist, someone that worked at Food Network for almost 2 decades, and has like her socials is all about fun, easy recipes. Sometimes for families, we talk all about this as well. So go listen to that episode. Anywho, I love that. That is something I wish I had more of. I think growing up, I will say, just like the ability. I think my desire to try new foods, because like you said, textures freak me out. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. But then also, if I know there's something on the menu that I'm gonna like, and there's something that like maybe I'm always gonna go with. I don't want to spend $20 to not
Yes.
like my dinner when I can have the chicken tenders. So it's nice to meet. It's nice to know that there are people like me in the world. That
Yes.
it's just easy. It's just
100%.
easier
Yeah, I'm gonna be satisfied with the chicken tenders. I know that.
every time.
Yeah,
Every time.
it's not a
Every
problem.
time. Another question. I've actually had quite a few parents on the podcast over the last couple weeks. Being a parent, was that something you always wanted to do? Was it something you knew at some point would happen? What's your story with that?
Well, John likes to make fun of me because I did like I have dated people in the past that did not want children. And so when we would talk about it, I would say, "Oh, like that's okay. Then I won't have children." But part of that was mainly because I don't want to bring children into a situation where they're unwanted. I really think that's important. I think that children should grow up in a loving, welcoming home. So I love working with kids. I love doing children's theater. I love my job working at a school. My parents were educators, so like I just did a lot of babysitting. I did nannying. I did all that. I love being around children. So I've always had the desire to be a mom. And John is, and I knew he would be, a wonderful dad, which makes a huge difference. Having a partner that also wants to be a parent and wants to be an actively involved parent, that just made it 10 times easier to want to have kids. So that was a very easy conversation in our marriage because I was like, "Do you want kids?" He said yes. And then I'm like, "Okay, cool." Because I would also like kids, but if you don't want them, then it's easy to be like, "I don't want to raise kids with someone who doesn't want kids."
Absolutely.
So yeah, that made our decision.
I love that. Have you started any traditions? Are you carrying on things that you guys had in your separate families, bringing them together, or starting something new?
So that's been like kind of interesting to figure out. So right before we had our first, John's mom actually passed away, and John was raised pretty much solely by his mom for a lot of his life. And so that alone brought up a lot of like, okay, well, this is what I did with my mom, and so there are some things that we definitely are trying to like meld together so that we can keep the memory of her alive as well as do our own thing. And so there's just different little things like she was a big baker, so we try and always make her recipes around Christmas time. She made like these special cookies and these like chocolate balls that John's sister has been like really into making and stuff like that. So that's been kind of special to kind of like during the holidays, especially to keep her memory alive. But I think the fun part about having your own kids is figuring out like what is fun for them, what's going to be good for you as a family. And like I was always that person who was like, let Halloween be Halloween, let Thanksgiving be Thanksgiving, and then we can worry about Christmas.
Hmm.
But it's like you get brought back to being a kid and seeing how special it is to put up the Christmas tree and to, put up these decorations. Like Sawyer has loved putting up these little village pieces and stuff like that. And so I think I think those traditions are probably coming because our kids are so little. but that's kind of where we've been starting. Like, it's just been fun to like, he's slowly getting into like, who is Santa, and watching some of these Christmas movies and stuff like that. So I think just being on the edge of discovering those traditions and stuff has been pretty fun.
Oh, I love that. That's so exciting. It's always so fun to just like be around friends with kids, especially like as they, like you said, kind of start realizing what these holidays are and what happens with them every year. It's really fun to kind of like see them grow with that. And kind of in that same vein, do you have like, what are your parents' names that your kids call them? And like aunt and uncle, do they have like fun grandparent aunt uncle names?
Well, I think the aunt uncle names are funnier than my parents' names.
Of course, they always are.
They always are. So when my niece, so my niece is she's the only girl. Like, she has two brothers and then I have two boys. So she is the boss.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were all kind of like, should we let her just decide, what should we do? And it became a joke that my parents were going to be Pops and Moo Moo. And I don't know how that started, but
Sure.
Moo Moo did not stick because my mom was like, it's fine. She can just call me grandma. Like, that's fine. And so that stuck. But when she was little, it sounded like she was, like when you think of like an old like Russian grandma and she would go, my grandma. That is what she said when she was like 18 months, like, like, so we called her grandma for the longest time, but now she's just
Yes.
grandma. And my
Oh,
son,
come
I
on.
know, it's so cute. And then my son can't quite say grandma yet, and so he calls her mama, which is really funny. But Pops has stuck, and all the kids have been able to say it. So my dad is Pops, and he loves that. Like, changed his license plate to Pops. Like,
Yes.
he loves being Pops. He thinks it's so fun. So that's been really cute. Well, then my brother, he's the only one that had kids. So until my kids came along, he didn't even have a name. Well, I don't remember which of the kids couldn't say. My sister's name is Bailey. I don't know
Hmm.
which of them couldn't say Bailey. They called her Wee Wee instead, which
Yes.
everyone thinks is hilarious. And it's been shortened to Wee because my son just every time he goes over, he goes, Wee, you do this with me? Wee, you play football with me? And so that's how that happened. And then I don't know where it started, but my son calls my brother Trey Trash. He's Uncle Trash. It's
Yes.
so funny. And so he'll call him and be like, Trash, you take me in your tractor? Because Trey's a farmer, and that's the coolest thing too, is having these big, huge machines. And so he'll say, Trey, you take me in your tractor. Trash, you take me in your tractor. So that's probably funnier than the grandparent names. But
Trash and we. And what's your name?
no one can say my name. So that's why that is I'm Kinnanin, Kindawin, giving him an imina. Um yeah. So that just whatever they managed to get out that sounds even remotely
Hmm.
close. Kinnanin is pretty close, is what I get a
Yeah.
lot of. So
I love that. I love that.
Right.
I'm excited to be fun Uncle Josh.
Oh yeah.
Whenever that happens. And to see what the names uh become, because it is always like, it truly is just like, what's the first word that comes out when he's looking at you? All right,
Yeah.
that's your name.
You're
And then
stuck
I
with
always
it.
think about when they go to like kindergarten and like, this is my Uncle Trash and my Aunt Wee, and people are like, huh?
What's wrong with
Mhm.
you? Yeah. Well, what's really funny is my husband's name is John, and everyone can say John. Like, they're all fine with that. So my niece walks in and goes, Hi, John. Every time she sees it, it's really funny. So Josh will probably be in the same vein. Like, she'll probably
Yeah.
be whatever you end up having nieces or nephews, they'll probably be able to be like, Hi, Josh.
Yeah,
It'll be
it'll
really
be Meredith or Mary Caitlin. They're like,
funny.
huh?
Yeah.
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 So, hmm I love that. I wish you lived closer to me, friend.
Oh my word. When I was watching your podcast episode with your friend, I think it was Charlotte, was that her name? Where she got to sit on your couch with
Yes.
you. I
Uh-huh.
was like, oh, I would love to do that.
just means you have to come visit me.
I do. John and I have literally talked about it so many times. We're like, we need to go see a show. And you and I have talked about this several times. But if we could get spit on by Jonathan Groff.
Oh,
And I know
friend,
that is a sentence that if you get it, you get it. And if you don't, you don't. And I'm sorry.
you're missing out.
You're missing out.
Let me tell you, that show, Just in Time,
Oh,
is, I cried 3 times.
I can
It's
only imagine.
incredible.
Which you saw it with Gracie, correct?
Yes.
Oh, my word.
Yes. Gracie, Erica, Jonathan.
Wow.
It was incredible. And those tickets are insane. Just in Time, if you're listening and or watching and would like to bring me back to see the show, I'm happy to come back, and
Yes.
I'll make video, I'll interview, I don't know, whatever you want. I would love to see that show again. Or if you can sponsor my friend Kendalyn to come visit for the weekend.
I was gonna say, I was like, I'll buy the plane ticket, but if you'll give us complimentary tickets to come see you, Josh and I will be there.
They're cheering louder than anyone should, and we don't care.
Oh, and just sobbing.
Holding each other, shoulders shaking as we are just like snot running. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, have you seen Jess? Because it is all over my effort.
Girl, it is. I have seen it. Never seen a production before.
Oh, wow.
The storyline, one of the weirdest storylines for a show ever. Sure. It's literally about how a game of chess impacted like political decisions during the Cold War. Very strange. The singing. Leah Michelle's Nobody's Side. If we don't get that at the Tonys later this year, next year, there we go.
Wow.
I will riot.
I mean, okay, I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve to be the person at the Tonys, because she is talented. I will give you that. But Aaron Tveit is like butter.
Singing the house down. Like, he's just, him and Nicholas Christopher. Oh, yeah. They're like, just tenor. They're musical theater tenors. And if you know what that means, you know what it means.
Oh, yeah.
But, man, they can sing.
That's what I'm saying. And like, I don't mean to like overshadow her. Like, yes. But, oh my word. Like, I specifically have been seeing those two, the leading men in, and I'm like, oh my word. I guess.
Okay, so Just in Time and Chess, if you want to partner, sponsor a weekend with Josh and Kendalyn, happy to oblige. You just let us know, and we're there. We're there.
Any show.
True.
And, I'm gonna be honest. I just, as you say, Josh loves theater. Kendalyn loves theater. Like, we'll be there.
We'll collab. We will.
Happy to do it. Yeah.
You were also in, I don't know if you've done anything more recent, but you did a production of Legally Blonde. Yes?
I did, Joshua.
How was that?
Okay, it was so fun. I was like a sorority girl, and it was like really nerve-wracking because I was like getting back into theater, and just it kind of was like, ooh. But I think I was with a really good cast of people, and also the director, amazing, and the musical director, he is actually he works at one of the colleges in town. I didn't know any of these people going into it, but this director, her name is Robin, she's amazing, super cool, super inclusive, just had a great vision for the show. And her partner built the set, so that was cool, like meeting them together. And then the music director, his name is Kent Keating, can play piano like you know when people like just know what they're doing and they're so good at it, it just makes things fun. Like he knew how to lead people to sing. Like he knew how to make it happen. And so then that first time when you sit down and you're singing with a cast of people who want to be there and they just can sing till their hearts, it's just a really special thing to be a part of. And I've experienced that in other casts too, but Legally Blonde is a crazy score. And also, I just have to throw this out there. Her name is Caitlin Halverson. Look her up. She's amazing. Was our Elle Woods.
Okay.
Everyone was super good. But Caitlin is like, she sings with bands and stuff like that. You can find videos of her. She was so perfect for the role. And it was so fun watching her. She actually borrowed my shoes one night, and she was, and I think it was so much better. She did like this kick, and her shoe went straight out into the middle of the audience and almost beheaded my husband. It was really cool.
Yes. Yes.
It was just, I just love that show. I mean, you were in it. Like it's
A blast.
it's so fun.
It's so much fun. And that, I think, is one thing I love about I did 2 community theater shows while I was in Chattanooga, and it's a choice that you are making to say, like, I'm going to give of my time to do this thing that I once enjoyed and I think I want to keep doing or have enjoyed and have continued to do.
Yeah.
For me, it was I did enjoy. I took a 5-year break and now I'm back doing it again. But it's so special because you're in a room of people that want to be there and you're doing it because you all have some kind of passion, some kind of desire to like have this artistic outlet. And so it's a really special like bonding. I made some of my greatest friends in Chattanooga are thanks to community theater. So it's very special.
And also, another shout out, support your local theaters because
Yes.
like I know that there are a lot of them that are like really struggling because people aren't they're not watching theater anymore. And I think people just don't know how fun it is, you know?
Mhm.
So like go watch the shows, go support your friends and family that are in it. And like maybe you'll like a show that you didn't know about or whatever, you know? Like I did not know how fun Something Rotten was until I went and saw it as a touring show in college, and it is now one of my favorite shows. Like it's
It,
just you don't know till you know.
yes. I just had that with the show Bat Boy.
Ooh.
And it was it was so fun. There's a moment in that show where one of the characters puts on a like elbow length glove and tests to see if a cow puppet is pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
and fully just has his arm inside of a cow puppet. And the character who is puppeteering the cow, Marissa Rosen, is reacting to the actor putting his hand inside the cow puppet and mooing. And I was cackling. I was laughing so hard. I posted a video about it on my Instagram on Josh Robinson TV, shameless plug. Go watch it. It's so good. It was so funny, and it's now one of my new favorite shows.
This is gonna sound very Iowa of me, but I could completely imagine you saying all of that because I have quite literally watched several people do that to pregnant cows. And
Have you?
no, no, could not. But because I lived in the middle of a cornfield, I was surrounded by farmers, and I don't know why, but one of our good family friends was like, "Do you want to see a cow give birth?" And I was like, "Shh, you know what? Sure." And I did. I went out, and I did not know their whole arm is gone. It's gone.
Literally to the shoulder. They are just
Yeah.
yeah.
So you saw a probably much less graphic version of what I
Oh
saw.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And you're
Again,
better off
it was a
for it.
puppet. Hmm. I was laughing. I wasn't like
Yeah.
so. That feels like something you could have nightmares about for weeks, I
It
feel like.
is. And then when
Mhm.
you have given birth yourself, you're like, ooh, is that what's going to happen to me? But no, it's okay. That didn't happen.
Okay, good.
We're good. Yeah. Yeah. You can cut that if you need to. Yeah.
If this is how I found out, that's how women get tested if they are pregnant,
Uh-huh.
I would throw this microphone down and leave.
100%. Yeah.
Thankfully, I've had many friends in my life be pregnant, and so I know, and we see it on TV all the time.
Yes.
There's just a test.
Yeah.
But if you told me that a doctor and I would did that to you, I would I don't know how I would react, to be honest with you.
Not a shot. But that's the other thing. People say the craziest things to pregnant people. Like,
Oh, please give us some of yours,
oh,
please.
well, so okay. So what was it? I think it was like maybe the Easter egg hunt at our church that we did. Because I was like, I was pretty close to giving birth. So that would have been in like April, and I gave birth in June this last year.
Hmm.
And there's this guy at our church who he'll say whatever, and you're just never prepared for it. And usually it's funny, but he's not trying to be funny. It's just him. And he came up to me, he said, my son's over there, he's doctor, so you just go ahead and go whenever you need to. And I'm like, no, that's not how that works. Come to find out, he's like an optometrist or something, like not even close.
So definitely knows how to help a woman give birth.
Definitely not. And then our like one of our good friends, he's a dentist, and everyone would be like, well, Alan's here. And I'm like, Alan can take my tooth out. He's not removing a baby from my body. And also,
Friends,
I'm not
I don't have a cavity.
Any part of me that a baby comes out of. There's no way. Not a shot. Like, there's just not. Like, but people just think that it's like this casual thing. Or like when my first was born, so John's mom, her birthday was February 11th, and that was my due date. And so everyone at church was like, that is so precious, because, you know, they're like, it's like, you know, she passed and now he's gonna be born on her birthday. And like, my friend who's labor and delivery nurse was like, just so you know, like only like 2% of babies are born on their due date. Like, that is not, like, because due dates are actually just really kind of guesses, truthfully.
Right.
No one really knows, like, the actual day you got pregnant, the actual, like, you know, all that. And so I showed up to church that very next day, very loud and proud, 9 months pregnant. I also don't want to be here, mind you. Like, believe me, I'm past my due date now. I don't want to be seeing you either. And everyone's like, you had one job. Like, I can just, like, make this baby magically be born. Joke's on me. My first was born at 41 weeks and a day. So he cooked a whole 8 more days.
He said, I gotta stay cozy. I gotta be here a little longer.
Right. And I should have known, because I have 2 Velcro children. So I should have known that they just wanted to hang out with me a little longer. But yeah, so it just is what it is.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
That is, and again, can't wait to be fun Uncle Josh, but boy, oh boy, I get to give them back, and they are yours again.
Yeah.
This cat over here is enough to keep me stressed and annoyed, let's say. So yeah, no. Well, Kendalyn, this has been an absolute blast. Before I let you go, the question I'm asking everyone, why do you think storytelling is so important?
Well, I am someone who really, really likes to know about other people's lives. I don't know why, but like, I did the audiobook of Kelly Bishop, and I love listening to podcasts where people are like, hey, this is my life or whatever. Like, that's why we're like Armchair Expert. But one, how are you supposed to gain any knowledge without shared experiences? And I also think that we're naturally meant to be community people. Like, I think we're meant to build community, be with other people, and all of that. And so I think in order to build community, I mean, you need to tell stories. You need to say, hey, this is my experience. And some of them are shared experiences, and you can be like, hey, I relate to that. And some of them are like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing, or I didn't know that was possible. Like, I just think we're meant to be communal people. And so in order to do that, you gotta put yourself out there, tell stories, tell all that. I mean, I think it's important for bonding and all kinds of crazy things, but also just have fun.
No, I love that. That's perfect. It's been my favorite, like, continuous question to ask, and just hearing everyone's answer. It's just a little window into who they are as a person. So I've gotten very different answers from everyone, but I think they all match perfectly with the person. So, if we want to follow along with your story, do you have social media? Are you using social media? Do you want people to follow you?
I do. You are welcome to, if you like to see updates on my boys. That's pretty much all I post about. So if you want to see pictures of my boys or follow along on the crazy journeys I'm doing, it's at Kendalyn Ann. So that's me.
Perfect. Just that easy. And we'll have it linked in the show notes.
Yeah.
So it'll just be a click away. Well, Kendalyn, again, I love you, friend. Thank you so much. And thanks for sharing your stories with us.
Of course. Thanks for inviting me.